A very warm welcome to the Pod and Rhythms with myself, Drum People. You know how we do it every single time. This is a place where stories find their groove. Today on the show, I'm hanging out with a music producer, piano player. I'm sure some of you will know that beautiful, handsome face from a lot of the live DVDs that you see in the country. Today, and it's gonna be beautiful chatting with this man. It's gonna be amazing. He'll be unleashing some of his tricks and tactics and tips to those beautiful musicians out there. You don't want to miss out on this. I'll see you right after the break. All right, welcome back to the Pod and Rhythms with myself, Drum People. And like I said, I'm hanging out with my brother right here on the show. My brother, Sia.
Yeah,
How you
man.
doing, brother?
I'm well, bro. How are you doing?
I'm good, man.
Yeah.
It's good to have you on the show. Welcome to the Pod and Rhythms.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I know
Yeah.
it's been a long time.
It's been a
coming,
long
so,
time.
I'm glad to be finally here, man. Thank
That's
you so
right.
much.
That's
Yeah.
right. Look, a lot of people know your face before they know the name. You know, they know the face. We've all seen it. We've seen it all over the
The
years. You know,
serious face.
you know. But who exactly are you?
Okay, my name is Siyanqoba Mthethwa,
Yeah.
as known in the industry.
That's right.
I'm a child from a province called KZN.
Okay.
In the far north coast of KZN. Grew up in a township called Esikaweni. Some would know.
Okay.
Richards Bay areas there.
Yeah.
That's where I grew up.
Okay.
From a family of, I'm from a Christian family.
That's
My
right.
father's a pastor. He was also a school teacher at his school. So
Okay.
he's the one literally that introduced me to music at a really young age.
Oh, okay. Does he play also?
Yes. He was a choir conductor at his school. So he would come at home with a melodica. You know, melodica, this small instrument.
yeah.
The choir conductors use it to
Yeah.
basically play the key, then they start conducting.
Yeah.
So whenever I would come with it at home, I would basically show interest in it. I looked at it as a keyboard because when I see people playing on TV, it didn't look like a melodica for me. It looked like
Yeah.
a keyboard. So
Yeah.
I would always bother him when he comes home with it. So until he was like, okay, let me just show you what's happening here. I think I was around 6 years old or so when I started showing interest. So from there, man, you know, the rest was just history.
Yeah.
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 But who have you worked with in the industry? We want to know all the names. If it's possible, we have until tomorrow.
Yo. Yeah, no, God has been great, man, to afford me the opportunity to work with so many people in South Africa. I've worked with the likes of Judith Sepuma,
Right.
Mamsbogile Kumalo at some
Yeah.
point, Togo Mbambo, oh, Joyous Celebration.
Yeah.
I work with also this production called Gospel Ghost Classical. I work with your Xole Mncwango,
Yeah.
Sipuleng March,
Yeah.
Ncebakazi.
Yeah.
Yeah, yo,
So
there's,
many, the
there's
list
a
goes
lot
on
of
and
them.
on.
Yeah, I've been around to
That's
put
right.
it mildly.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
So now you have this thing also that you do, which is your baby called the ABC Piano.
Yes, sir.
You're teaching piano. You have these videos online and stuff. How does it work? How if I want to learn to play piano and I don't know anything about piano,
Yeah.
what's your process like?
Okay, so ABC Piano is an online tutorial site. That's what I
Okay.
call it, because it's just videos that I pre-recorded, and I divided them into categories.
Yeah.
There's beginners there, there's intermediate, there's advanced category, there is skills and technical stuff, there's music theory there, then there's a category where you can basically watch performances that I upload there. So how it works is that you have to subscribe to
Yeah.
it. Subscription is 160 rands per
Okay.
month
Okay.
to gain access to everything that is there.
Oh wow, that's
yeah.
nothing.
Yeah, that's it's. I mean, I'm basically saying here's information.
Yeah.
Go there, and you
yeah.
even have the option to ask me questions if you don't
Wow.
understand anything on the site.
Wow.
So it's really self-explanatory. If you go on the homepage, you will see you have to basically sign in. Then you put all your information there, you put your card details and so on.
That's right.
Then as soon as you're done with that, then you can log in.
So if I don't know anything about piano and I'm serious,
Yeah.
how long do you think it will take me to start playing?
A couple of months, I would say. It really depends on how serious you are, like you were saying.
Yeah.
Everything needs time. You have to invest time. And when I say a couple of months, I mean to get you started.
Yeah.
So you can basically play some basics, and perfectly so, because on my site I teach technical things, I teach scales, but I teach songs as well. So if you wanna learn how to play a specific song, by the end of a certain video or one video, you would have been able to play that particular song on that specific key that I'm teaching in. But also, with the music, once you learn one thing, it opens doors to many other things. So the information is endless. It doesn't end at the information that you have now. But to get you started, basically, definitely a couple of months, you'd be able to know your way around the piano.
That's right.
And gain some confidence as you go. Yeah.
And familiarize yourself with the black and white keys.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's talk about Joyous celebration. What exactly do you do there?
I wear different hats. I'm a musical director.
Okay.
I produce. I also play the piano there. For them.
Yeah. And if you produce, or if you are directing, let's say you take a song, they bring a song, and you listen to the song and you're about to work on it, how do you identify the voice or the person who will be suitable for that song? Because there are so many people, so many professionals in front of you. How do you say, this song, I think, Wayna, you'll be best for it?
Yeah.
How do you connect the two, between the music and the person, the voice?
Yeah, it takes time. It needs me to understand everyone that I'm working with in the room, their capabilities, their weaknesses, what they can do and what they cannot do. So with everyone, as you know, they are good at certain sounds, they are good at certain genres in a way. So it's very important to know what people are good at doing.
That's right.
That's where it starts. So understand them, listen to them sing whatever they sing, get a feel of what they are most comfortable doing.
Yeah.
So as a musical director, it's my job to understand that fully, so that I'm able to pair. If I hear a song, then automatically I hear that individual in the song.
Yes.
So it's a process of me understanding the person first. Then when I get material to work on, then I try and then pair it with the people. So I have to know their ranges. I have to know where they are most comfortable. It's very important. Know their strong points. At the same time, as a musical director, it is my responsibility to also work on their weak points, to try and help them grow as much as possible.
That's what I was coming to, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because sometimes you find people who you give them the song and they are not ready. They will tell you, "Ish, this song, I don't think it's for me." You know, they doubt themselves. But you, as the director, you can see that no, you will kill it. You know, how do you bring them up to the point where they can accept it and open up and say, "Let me take this challenge"? Yeah,
you just said something very important there. You know, as I learn and I study these people, I see things in them that they don't see themselves. Sometimes it's mainly because of fear. You know, a lot of artists, because I've produced a lot of artists, I know one of the main things that I have to deal with them is the fear, is the vulnerability, you know, for them to come out boldly and do what they do. So I have to sort of push them now and then to say, no, but you are good at this. Why are you not doing that? You know, so it's really a job for me to help them discover themselves as they showcase what they can do in the public. But they should be able to see the growth. If they look at a thread, maybe from where they started to where they are, they should see that growth, gradual growth as they go. So it's not just about you really mainly focusing on what you can do best, but it's also about you growing as a person, finding your feet, doing new things, challenging yourself as much as possible.
That's right.
So that's my job as well, to make sure that I push them, not throw them in the deep end, but hold their hand, make sure they find their feet. Usually when I throw a challenge at them, it's because I know they can do it, even if they don't believe it at the time. That's right. You know. So, but the more I push, I've realized that, they even surprise themselves as much as
Yeah.
they surprise me, but they surprise themselves, and
Yeah.
it's such a beautiful thing to see, people coming out of their shell, coming out
Yeah.
of their box in a way. Yeah.
But also, look, with Joyous Celebration,
Yeah.
so there's a lot of professionals in there. Professionals. Some of them have written their own music. Some of them are, recording artists. They've worked with other artists for years.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ego that you have to deal with as well.
Yeah.
Being the music director, how do you handle the egos and the tantrums that, especially, in the industry, sometimes we have, I'm sorry to say it, but sometimes the women have a way of, throwing tantrums easily because
Yeah.
they are more emotional than us.
Yeah.
So how do you balance that, keep them calm and let them do what they have to do?
Look, for me, love is the foundation for everything.
True.
Even in a workspace like
Yeah.
that. Yes, egos are there, and I usually say to them that it's good for everyone to have pride as a human being. Have some level of pride in what
Yeah.
you do, and regard yourself. For me, if you have an ego, then it automatically says to me that, okay, that you've got what it takes to be in this space. But ego becomes a problem when it then stops you from coexisting with others. That's where now the problem starts. So having to manage different egos, sometimes the honest truth is that I would see that, okay, a fight is brewing there, or something is happening. I can do one of two things. I can address it there and there, or if I feel it's really petty, I make a joke about it.
That's right.
But openly, so that everyone in the room can see, okay, these two are busy at each other's throats for nothing,
Yeah.
just to diffuse it, but
Yeah.
make it a joke.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I know egos, this is another thing about an ego, it also stems from insecurity.
True.
You understand?
All the way.
So as much as people want to boast and show others that they are these types of people, it's also to hide something. So because I'm someone who digs deep, I know what their weaknesses are, and I know that when they do this, it's because they are hiding that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's very important that I then address the root
That's right.
of the issues. I speak to them. We have conversations privately to say, I know you are struggling with this and this.
That's
I'm
right.
here to help.
That's right.
Let's see how we can help each other. And they open up to me and we talk about it.
Wow.
Then I find that I don't have to deal with the ego issues again.
It doesn't come up anymore.
Yeah, because I'm
they
not.
know somebody in the room is aware of where they stand.
Exactly. So usually egos come out because they play out amongst each other, because they generally, guys don't understand it because everyone is here for their own agendas.
Yeah.
So they are trying to defend themselves at that point in time, So that's why I just come in to say, no, let's channel the energy
Into something else.
Yeah, into the right things. So
Yeah.
I know what you are dealing and what you are struggling with. That's why you are reacting a certain way, So it really helps to look at it like that.
That's
and I
right.
tell them that, be careful of being this type of a person.
Yeah.
It makes you look like you are full of pride, or you're full of yourself, and so on. So I'm privileged that some listen, and we are living in a free country, so some don't. So, but I'm happy to share
That's right.
what I can and
That's
to
right.
impart what I can. with
That's
them.
right.
Yeah.
You have your own music.
Yeah.
Besides all the people you work with, the artists you work with, and all that, you have your own sound, your own music, which I would say it doesn't sound like any of the artists that you work with.
Yes, sir.
You have a very specific sound, beautiful sound, How do you switch from those energies? Because being a creative guy, you have to, every space where you find yourself, if you're playing with Joyous, you don't sound the same as you playing your music.
Yeah.
And you don't sound the same as you playing with Sibongile Kumalo or whosoever. It's different genres. And as a musician, how do you switch between these moods, this frame of mind, to know where you are and know what is required of you for this specific genre or music? How do you work around that?
You have to know all these genres first. You have to appreciate the different elements that make different genres.
Right.
And because I first went to a school of music, I had to learn to appreciate all of these things, and I had to play them to understand them. And because I was young at the time, I was playing it from church. For number one, I hated jazz because I didn't understand it.
Yes.
I only loved gospel, which I could play. But the minute I learned jazz, I started loving it. Understand? And the minute I started playing pop music or African music, I started appreciating it.
Yeah.
Because now my insight is broader in a way. So once I find myself in those different genres and sounds, I understand there are elements here that are beautiful. I was just outside of them. That's why I didn't appreciate them at the time.
Yeah.
So it's easy for me to now switch because I know what are the core elements that make these different sounds and what's the beauty about them.
I think this is a very, very important topic, because there are a lot of guys, when you take them from church and you say, let's go play jazz, you hear the church in the club.
Yeah.
And to gel with them it's like a struggle, because I think they don't know exactly where the change has to come in, and it also comes with maturity.
Yeah.
The music that you listen all over the years, it comes out when you find yourself in such spaces.
Yeah.
So for somebody who is starting up, where can they find this balance? How do they start? What did you do that you think helped you so much to be able to be so comfortable and move so freely in these spaces?
Yeah. I was so eager and hungry to learn, man, from high school. I remember varsity was not the first place for me to learn everything that I know now.
Okay.
There was a music school back at my township. Actually, Mam Sibongile Khumalo's father, he was Professor Mngoma.
Okay.
Was a music professor. He had a private school at his home that he built. So we used to go there. I was still in grade 11, grade 12. We used to go there, learn music theory, learn jazz, and all of that. So I would say, to musicians, wherever you are, make it your mission to research. Find out where you can find the information.
Yeah.
No one is going to come to you and give you the information that you need. Go online. YouTube has all this information.
Yeah.
There's ABC Pianos now.
Yeah.
Also, I built that site to help people who want to, start. Also, I didn't mention that when I went to varsity, I had to start from a foundation course, which is a bridging course, because there was information that I did not have to get me started at first year. So ABC Piano allows you to get all of that information so that when you want to go to an institution, you go straight to first year. Understand? So it's important to allow time, to give yourself time to study. Study this perfectly. And I always say this is a controversial one here because there's self-taught musicians and then there's musicians that went to school. I would always encourage musicians to study. It puts you a step above everyone.
Yeah.
Whether you believe this or you don't, even when you are self-taught, you still need to study.
Yeah.
Get into the academic space.
Yeah.
It literally opens the whole world for you. If I can tell you things that are probably in the pipeline for me, they are not in South Africa because...
I was having this conversation with somebody earlier on. I'm like, when you go to school, it's not that the school is going to teach you something that is out of this world.
Yeah.
But it helps you to learn what you will learn maybe in the next 10 years. If you're teaching yourself, you learn it in 2 years.
Exactly.
Because there's a structure. And that is why education is important.
It's very important. I mean, like you're saying, it really forces you, it gives you stress.
Yeah.
So that by the time, I don't know when I started playing jazz comfortable like I did. I just woke up, I was in third year, I was like, oh, actually my fingers are now...
They're moving.
They are moving. I promise you. But I was just absorbing information as much as possible, meeting deadlines, doing assignments, having sleepless nights.
Yeah.
Before I knew it, now it's now finger memory. It's not
That's
even
right.
here anymore.
Yeah.
You understand? So it's very important to get into that space. And what people don't understand is that it sets you up it keeps you relevant for decades to come,
That's right.
because now you have the information that
That's
the
right.
world has.
Yeah.
You understand? And it opens you up to knowing other musicians from other parts of the world. Like in
That's right.
my varsity, we would engage with a lot of exchange students from the US,
Yeah.
from Sweden, and so
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
So they would come. At times, part of the people that I studied with are now that side, studying at Berkeley School
Yeah.
of Music and so
Yeah.
on. You see, so it opens you up. You get to be exposed to the world
That's
and
right.
know people who
True.
are doing this in a world stage. So it's very important. It's
And
very important.
also you get to share, the way they think, because music is here and here.
Yes.
So the way you think, and definitely it influences the way you feel, and then it comes out through the instrument.
Exactly. It just
Yeah.
gives you the flexibility to be able to express yourself
That's right.
the way you can.
That's right.
However, I do want to say people must just be careful of not emulating a specific person, because
That's
the
right.
whole idea is to
That's right.
help you, give you the tools to become yourself. You understand? We need to, at the end of the day, we need to hear who
Yeah.
who Siyanqoba is
Yes.
in the music.
Yes.
As much as I learned how to play like McCoy Tyner
Yes.
or whoever, but at the end of the day, I take these tools and I get into my soul and I try
Yeah.
and express myself using the techniques that I learned. you
Yeah.
know. So, yeah.
Now let me ask you a very important question here. Before you, there were people
Yeah.
that were music directors for Joyous and all these bands that you're playing with. Now it's your turn. Do you feel that there will be a time where you'll be relevant? Does it scare you? Just a little bit?
It used to, but not anymore, because I'm grown. I understand that life comes in stages. Again, because I went to school and I studied music, I want to experiment with all these spaces while I still can.
Yeah.
So I've been in the music space, in the gospel space, a lot. Now I'm starting to find my feet as an artist in the
Yeah.
jazz space,
Yeah.
because I want to gradually now go into that space more, even work with others
Yeah.
in the space, because I want to see myself now on the international stage.
That's
so
right.
I'm not worried now of the change that comes with my career, because I've given myself time to study, to prepare myself.
Yeah.
Yes, there will come a time where people won't see me on the gospel spaces as much as they did see me before.
And change is good.
Change is good.
Yeah.
It's nice if it comes and you were prepared for it,
That's right.
so that you don't feel like you were kicked out.
Yeah.
You know.
The most important thing that I see here is that you're doing your own music.
Yes.
Nobody else can play it like you.
Yes, sir.
Even if you are 1,000-year-old, nobody else, just your face sitting behind that piano, people can hear the sounds from the albums that you've produced years back. So that is one thing that I think that you're doing, which is really good, because even if you shift from all these other bands and all that, what is yours, nobody can take it from you.
Yes. True.
That brand,
True.
it only dies with you, and people are going to learn that music that you are going to leave behind.
Yeah.
Which is generational.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all for me. That's what it's about. Leaving your own legacy,
Right.
leaving your footprints. By the time you're not here, your children can live from your legacy. Your children's children, even the nations can document what you did.
Yeah.
We have institutions now and so many places of higher learning
Yeah.
because of these people who laid their mark. Because
That's
if you
right.
look at modules and curriculums at school,
Yeah.
they teach us about all these people, the legends that
Yeah.
lived before us.
Yeah.
And they started this wave, this movement
Yeah.
that keeps us
Yeah.
even today. So it's our duty now. It's our time to do the same thing. Leave
Yeah.
your mark. I remember speaking to one of the greatest pianists right now, Undutuzo Makatin.
Yeah.
And I was asking him, when is the good time to actually put down your thing? And he was like, you know, this thing is not about when it's a good time. It's about you documenting the space you are at that time. Because a year later, you are now
It changes.
you've outgrown that space.
Yeah.
You're at a different space. So you
Yeah.
document that too. So every time you go through these different changes and
Yeah.
stages.
Like
you
now,
document it.
he's a doctor. He's
Exactly.
the doctor, you know.
Exactly. So, you know, all of these things, people are watching, they are learning, they are researching about you,
Yeah.
they get inspired, they become a better version of
That's right.
themselves just by watching you do what you do.
So, all the people you have worked with, all the artists, are there any two of those artists that you think that this two, if they do a collab, it's going to be a killer? They don't
Yeah.
even know it by themselves. They know that I admire this one is there, but in your mind, you know, if this one can do a collab with this one here,
Yeah.
something is going to rain.
Yeah. Yeah. I think in my head, if, for example, Xolo Mngcango, you know Xolo
Yeah,
Mngcango,
yeah.
and Hle, if they can do a
Yeah.
collab, yeah, I think that would just be
Yeah, yeah.
turn the whole South Africa
I hope they
upside
do.
down.
I hope they do
too.
Yeah, I hope they do.
They are two powerhouses that
Yeah,
the
definitely.
nation still is yet to see
Yeah.
and really glorify God through their gifts.
That's
you know.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. No, man. So the people that are looking up to you and hoping that one day they become like you and all that, what is your word of advice for them?
Keep learning. Remain a student in all the stages of your life, even when you've achieved the things that you want. Remain a student.
That's
You
right.
know, I remember when I was still a child,
Yeah.
I dreamt of stages like Joyous Celebration, and but now I'm there. I still want more. I'm still hungry for more.
Yeah.
That's what keeps you relevant. That's what
That's right.
keeps you pushing. Do not ever think that you've arrived. Remain humble. Don't ever look at other people as less than you.
That's right.
Yeah, keep the hunger, man. Do not quench that hunger or thirst.
Yeah.
You know, that's my best advice. And also, whenever you get a chance to do what you do on stage, do it for an audience of 2, like you do it for an audience of 2,000.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, brother. Sia, thank you so much for coming to hang out with me. I'm sure somebody has learned something out there. And, man, all the best with everything that you're doing, my brother. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much, man.
Yeah,
Thank you for having me. Keep pushing, man.
That's
Keep
right.
doing this thing.
All the way.
It's amazing. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much for hanging out with myself and Siyanqoba right here on the Pod and Rhythms. I had a good time, and I'm sure you also did. Look, if you haven't subscribed yet to this channel, be sure to subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell for all of our future notifications of our upcoming shows. And also go ahead and share this video with all the musos out there. Let them grasp something. Let them learn something. You never know. I'll see you same time, same place. God bless. Bye-bye.